In my last book, Home, I said that I was only really comfortable in three types of shops: record shops, bookshops and wine shops. And here we are in John Mitchell's Wine Emporium, because shop is too small a word for such a sumptuous pleasure palace as John has here. And John is a good example of people of widely different political persuasions and different football persuasions can get on with each other, normally over a bottle of wine. John, what's new?
Oh, hiya Carl, what are you two doing here? New, we've got Toro, Red Rag to a Bull. What do you think?
Suit a couple of communists like us, eh,
Yeah,
John?
it's just typical for you. I bought him just for you, Carl, yeah.
Yeah, wine's an interesting product to consider when thinking about consumption.
First, it's a drug, something that inherently has the power to keep you buying it. Addiction.
Yeah, I really didn't want you to remind me that, but never mind. The thing that I was thinking of, Danny, was the fact that he got wine at very, very large range of price points. We've got two wines here, two bottles of claret. This one, Chateau de Pez, 2004, excellent wine. 7 times the price of this one, 58 guineas, everyday claret, also a pretty decent wine. The question to ask yourself, is this bottle of wine here 7 times better than this bottle of wine here? Or is part of that price that you're actually spending on this bottle of wine something to do with the prestige and the ability to actually pay that price in the first place? Or is that 7 times better a bloody good bottle of wine? Mind you, what else do we know about wine?
Well, it's a global product. It's transported worldwide.
Morocco, Tunisia, Chile, South Africa, India, Thailand. I've drunk wine from all of these countries. In fact, recently I had a bottle of Chateau, carbon neutral, all the way from Pittsmore, Sheffield. Not great wine, but still only from Sheffield.
And pretty much everything we consume generates waste.
Now, like most people, I tend to be a little bit self-delusional about the consumption and the waste that it generates. It reminds me a little bit of my friend who's a very, very strict vegan, but flies around the world visiting lots of different places to experience their cultures and their excitement. If you lead a lifestyle like mine and you grow your own food like this and you drive an 8-year-old car like this, although I do still use my bus pass, and if you're evangelically swept up with recycling like I am and haven't flown since 2006, and if you buy very little on your credit card, although of course I did buy a house though, not on the credit card, and I did actually buy a new kitchen earlier this year, though that was just to keep the economy going. If you did all of those things and you lived your life in an environmentally conscious way, we would still need 2.8 worlds worth of resources to sustain a lifestyle like that. Putting it simply, I can live how I live because lots of people in the world, in fact most people in the world, consume very, very little indeed. I can live how I live because the poor are poor. There aren't many showrooms for cars in the Sahel, eh Danny?
It's amazing how many people still don't even live near a dirt road. But there's a new argument afoot. The argument says that it's fine for the super rich to have all that money. It's green for that to happen, because they can only ever sleep in one bed at a time, can only ever use one yacht. Roman Abramovich can only drive one car.
But what happens if we scale down from just the super rich? What happens if everybody in India has a new Toyota, a new widescreen TV, a new fitted kitchen?
Or a new Bosch like yours.
Yeah, or a new Bosch like mine. What happens if that occurs? Isn't it a bit better, Danny, do you reckon, if we just let the rich be really rich and hope that people like Bill Gates will be philanthropic enough to give away their wealth?
Well, we've had a look. We've had a look at this. We've looked and found that in the most unequal of rich countries, the richest country, the United States, people there consume the most meat, the most water, they take the most flights, even though they've got 30 million people living on food stamps, something the coalition government haven't introduced in Britain yet. In more equal, affluent countries, people, including the rich, consume far less. There are far more people like you, Carl. Even if we know that you're not exactly normal, it's more normal to be like Carl. But even in these countries, you'd still need about 2.8 planets to survive. So everywhere we're consuming too much.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be seeing Danny rolling up in a brand new shiny Audi sometime soon. It's not really his style. Anyhow, I think I'm just going to pick myself some of these organic tomatoes so I can cook up a storm in my new kitchen. However, I need to remind myself that it's going to be a while before I'm part of the solution rather than part of the problem.